Today's guest on the podcast is Connor Mamula. If you look at the thumbnail, you can tell that Connor and I have been dogs for a while. In that particular picture, him and I went to the Call of Duty midnight launch, and we happened to be sick the next day. And I think we were sick on that same day on an annual basis, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Connor's an acquired taste, as you'll see in this podcast, but if you can stick around, this podcast is very enjoyable, so I hope you stay to the very end. Enjoy it. The first thing that I want to talk about is when people are like canceled today, like on Twitter or whatever, I feel like that whole notion of people being irredeemable to the point where you can't have like a stance or you can't further your craft or continue to like have a platform online.
Are you talking about general cancel culture?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's very odd to me when people want to like label people irredeemable now, but that means that you don't really have room, in my opinion, for true role models. Because for me, role models are people who
Well, that's ironic as hell, because I mean, you look at people who are like, I mean, some of the scummiest people in the world are some of the best role models we have. I mean, look at people who have like gone through trials and tribulations and have come out on the other end. Like you look at drug dealers, you look at like, I mean, for example, you ever seen the movie Snow on the Bluff? You got like Curtis Snow, who like was a drug dealer in Atlanta, obviously did fake movie shit, and correct me, I may be false on some of this stuff, but I mean, a lot of people get out of those like lives and go back and give back to their communities. Look at Jay-Z. Look at all these different people who were like literally shitheads. They were drug dealers. They were fucking, some of them murderers. I believe Jay-Z killed his brother or his uncle or some crazy shit. But I mean, he goes back and gives back to the community and does so in a good way. And this cancel culture we have now is becoming so toxic to where it's like you're pulling up tweets and shit or Facebook posts from 2011 and it's like, all right, well, this person's like non-existent anymore. Just like cut them off from the face of the earth.
Right. And I think to go off that point before we like go back to the original was that like I think old tweets even from like a year ago aren't even fair game because the culture at that point was so different. Like the stuff that we said like in MW2 Xbox Live parties wouldn't even like we would get canceled beyond belief now. Like anyone would. Like that's like anyone in 2001.
There would be no careers. Like yeah, we would be literally. No disrespect to fast food workers, but we would be flipping burgers for the rest of our lives. And we would be cleaning rat traps at like 3 a.m. Like it would not be good. But I mean, that's like, that was just like, you know what I mean? We're 14-year-old boys, like fucking playing Call of Duty, having fun, having a good time. Like, I mean, you say whatever you're going to say. You talk smack, you talk shit, but we kept it real as fuck though. And that's the thing. That was the fun part though. Cause there's not this fake like bullshit that goes on, this jargon, this like, I'm going to go like, I'll call it political correctness, like where people are like holding back on what they really want to say, like just for the sake of getting a satisfaction from someone that they could really give two fucks about.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I find that so, like, I almost find it like having a lack of integrity. Like when you're not true to yourself, like if you like are having a conversation with someone, like I have a huge, like I work construction. I swear a lot. Like fuck is like, I say fuck like more than probably any other word in the English dictionary. And when I'm around like my parents' friends and stuff like that, they're like, you can't talk like that. I'm like, well, I want to be real with you. I'm going to continue to talk like that because it's how I speak. I go, you can get over it or we can not talk. I go, there's a simple solution. I go, I'm not going to change just to appease you. Like it's something that I'm comfortable with. If you're not, then I'm sorry. But like, I'll try to reel it in a bit. Like we can come to some common ground, but I'm not just going to be like completely passive and be like, okay, like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your cupcake. Like,
yeah, I hear you. I think that's one of the things about authenticity that people like need to understand too. Cause like, I guess authenticity is like a double-edged sword. Like, cause that's like, that could rub a lot of people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, I feel like I don't want someone like you to act normal and say something politically correct, because I feel like a lot of like your authenticity manifests itself through you. I don't know how to say it. Like that's sort of.
I mean,
your
if you're,
avenue. I don't know.
even, I mean, you could take it in any aspect. You could take it from a social aspect. You could take it from a business aspect. If you go into a business meeting, I'm gonna sit down. You can read people right away if you have a good sense of judgment or a good sense of character. and to be fake and alter your personality or the way you're going to address a situation because you want to appease someone or come off a certain way. I mean, some people do it and some people do it successfully. I mean, those are con men, but essentially,
no, actually, they are. That's like a psychopathic thing.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, for example, I'll give a perfect example. It took me 2 months to get a hold of my advisors for school. So I finally get a hold of him and I answer the phone. I go, listen, buddy. I go, you're not going to like what you're about to hear, but you're the first asshole I got a hold of. And he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. And I go, no. I go, this is how we're going to talk. I go, now it's man to man. I go, if it took me 2 months to get through and I'm paying for this bullshit, I go, you're going to get an earful and you're going to sit through all 30 minutes of it. I was respectful and I cursed and I said how I said it. And I even apologized because I go, dude, it's not even your fault. You're just the first one that answered the phone. I'm like, but I was like, I was going to say it how it was, bro. Like,
yeah.
And when I'm paying $5,000 for this YouTube education, like, yeah, I'm going to be a little pissed off, especially after getting ghosted for 2 months.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore. That's a whole other conversation, but just to go back.
Yeah, we could go off. Yeah, we'll touch base on that again.
Yeah, no,
later in the conversation for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like going back to what you said about hiding those things is that I feel like when you hide those things, you don't address. I think it's sort of in the same vein of not addressing your past mistakes, and if you don't embrace those parts of yourself, then you won't grow, and like you won't become a role model, and you won't be able to like.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've all made mistakes in life. Would you take them back? Would you take any of them back?
I would literally not do anything different that I did, period.
I'll give you a perfect example. So I'll touch on a very personal story.
Go for it.
College, my junior year, I caught some legal charges, and they were not just like a speeding ticket per se.
Mm-hmm.
They're shit that I'm still dealing with to this day.
Understood.
So it resulted in me going from going to school, doing pretty well, to substance abuse, became an avid drinker. I was drinking probably 6-7 days a week, smoking weed every fucking day. And then I don't even want to get into the other stuff I was doing. It was a whole slew of drugs. You ever watch Wolf of Wall Street? It was like that, but just a little dumbed down.
All right.
Less
okay. All right.
But to put it simply, so I decided to take a year off of school and ended up going and working out in Toledo. So I ended up going from being in a situation where I was unhappy. I was stuck in school doing something I didn't want to do. I was doing business originally. And I got to go to Toledo and work as a safety officer with 1,200 union men and women from all across America. Eventually, I got put on night shift. I got moved up to superintendent. And I mean, I was literally running a crew of 250 guys at 23 years old.
Damn.
And that all came from me getting in trouble.
Oh, shit.
And I look back at that and I go, if I was stuck in school, I would have stayed drinking. I would have stayed smoking, and I would have been going down that same slippery slope. But I took something that could have been detrimental to my future and turned it completely upside down. It made me financially independent. I mean, at 23 years old, I hit 6 figures. It was one of my biggest accomplishments.
Damn.
And then now I'm back in school. I'm financially independent. And I look back at it and I go, well, I'm still dealing with the issue now, but I can deal with it with a more level-headed way. And like, but I actually got to go like in the field for a year and a half, 2 years, and learn. And like, I learned I didn't want to do business. I want to do construction, like something that I love to do, which is like work with my hands, work with people. And big thing was being a leader, teach them how to do things the right way, do things the safe way, make sure those men and women went home safe at night. And it was the greatest experience of my life. I mean, working 70 hours a week at 23 years old, leading 250 men and women was not an easy task. It was daunting.
Yeah.
And it was very intimidating. I was like getting thrown into like a cell and like, cause you have to earn respect. Like,
yeah, it's
that's
trial by fire.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like earning the respect of those people, like I remember riding up. So the tower that we built is the tallest building in Toledo. And so I believe 457 feet tall, tallest structure is what they call it. Cause it's a blast furnace.
Okay.
But we were riding up on an elevator. We call it a buck hoist. And this big pipe fitter sitting next to me. And he knows that I'm the boss's son. So he looks over at me and he goes, hey, I know who the fuck you are. And I go, what was that, milkman? We call him milkman because he always milking the clock. And then I was like, okay. What was that, milkman? So then I pulled him aside and we chatted for 30 minutes. Me and this motherfucker haven't seen him in 6 months. We're Facebook buddies. We DM, we talk all the time. But like, dude, it could have been a confrontation, but it was learning how to manage people and manage a situation.
For sure.
And again, just being real as fuck. Like, I mean, this guy could have totally picked on me, bullied me around, a little 23-year-old, $150, skinny white redhead. Like, and this dude's, I'm talking big construction worker in his 50s. Like, he would have broken my neck with his left hand. Like, I mean, he was one of those guys that you like turn away from in an alley. But I mean, it was a learning experience, but it was a blessing. And like, I look back at it and I think getting in trouble was, I would say, probably one of the best things that ever happened to me.
For sure. And like, there's a lot of things you said there that I definitely want to talk about. I guess the one thing that I do want to say is probably the tiniest divergence is that you talking about that interaction, and you basically had the choice. A lot of what you're talking about is personal choice, like personal decision making. And the one choice that you made when he said that shit about you being the boss's son is that you chose not to take it personally and you ran with it. And that's the camaraderie sense, and especially that sort of like work environment. Like, you need camaraderie. Like, everyone is there like grinding their ass off.
That is the like nail in the foot when they find out that like. See, but the thing is, I wasn't out there because, I mean, I definitely got the opportunity through family ties. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. But the phone call I got to come out there originally was from a guy who worked for Jacobs Engineering. He needed an extra helping hand out there. I was getting ready to drop out of school, and he said, yo, like, he knew what I was going through. I actually didn't get a call back from any family. It was actually a guy from Texas.
Oh, shit.
And he called me back out there, and I worked under him, and he put me in charge of assembling and helping get all the materials and stuff in for the world's largest crawler crane, the Mamula LR 13,000, which was an awesome project to be a part of. But I mean, I worked my way up from safety. I was originally an intern. Then I worked at safety, and then eventually it was assistant superintendent, and then superintendent. I mean,
damn.
And my dad, my old man, I had guys on the job. They go, "What's your role?" I go, "I'm your boss." Like, and they go, "How fucking old are you?" I'm like, 23. Like, and they go, "There's no fucking way." I'm like, but I'm out there with them. I'm throwing harnesses on. I'm climbing the tower. I'm doing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm out in the cold. I'm out in the wind. I worked night shift for 9 months.
Damn.
I got up at 4 p.m. I worked till 6 a.m. Like, I mean, there was no breaks. Like, there was I mean, it was cold. It was brutal. And when you're up in the air, let me tell you, 20 degrees in Toledo at 400 feet ain't no 20 degrees.
Jesus Christ.
It's cold,
dude.
man. And it was a testament. And it was, honestly, I miss it. Like, two of my friends are out there now finishing it up. Zach Cole and Kyle Miner, great kids. They're out there finishing it up, and I'm so jealous. I would love to be boots on the ground and be out there with them, man. It's an experience to be out there.
So there's a huge rewarding aspect of like, because I feel like to anyone who is in college right now, to hear that sort of thing, that sounds like a punishment almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, most people would be like, oh, sweet, I get to go party, I get to go play. But guess what? Like, you'll always have that opportunity. Like, you'll always have the opportunity to go party and go and play. And dude, I'm like a homebody now. And like, I used to be like the kid that would be like a Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking rail a line. Like, I mean, it would be like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no holding back. Like, and the thing was, I mean, I think it saved my life, quite frankly. Like, I think it kind of made me realize like what's important, and like having all these like people who like, I mean, you see all walks of life. Like, I mean, people sleeping in their cars, driving from Louisiana because that was the only job they could find.
Damn. And
like, thank God that Trump was very like pro-union and pro-America when he cut the steel tariffs down 25%. I mean, it was the first time we built a steel mill in 20 some years. I mean, it was a fucking awesome experience. 4,000 people we had employed come through that job site. It was an incredible experience, and just to meet all these people from all walks of life, and I mean, it was a humbling experience to say the least. But no,
the work it was
something that like, I mean, I knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. Like, I mean, just seeing it go from like literally dirt to 457 feet in the air, and just standing up there and seeing the whole skyline, like the whole city. It was it was like you can't like put it into words.
That's
it. You know, say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Like it literally like that encapsulates it perfectly because it was such a beautiful experience to finally like put that American flag on top, and we did it on American soil. We built the steel mill, and we did it under Cleveland Cliffs, which is an awesome company to work for, and it was awesome to get it done, man.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the next thing I want to say is so making those mistakes that led you to like I guess these revelations, like this personal growth. Like, what do you have to say about making mistakes moving forward in terms of like your fear of making mistakes and like your fear of failure moving forward? Like, do you embrace it now more than you did before, or what?
I want to kind of like rephrase that. Like, are you saying am I worried about making mistakes again, or am I?
I say like now that you like have basically assessed how your failure led to like unimaginable growth and like this newfound perspective on life.
Yeah.
Is your like sense of like your fear of failing in the future, is that like completely mitigated now? Like, are you not scared of failure? Because like no matter what.
Oh, not at all. I honestly, it's one of those things. Like, I always look at it this way: if life was meant to be easy, it would just be handed shit every day. It'd be rainbows and unicorns. We'd walk outside, it'd be 75 and sunny. We'd all be healthy. We wouldn't have anyone sick. I mean, shit happens, dude. And like anything could happen. I mean, it could be a simple tragedy. It could be a car accident. Like I fucking broke my hand. What was it? End of July. I was riding an ATV, and like God bless, I didn't fucking die. I rolled it at 40 miles an hour in the woods,
Holy
like
shit.
with no shirt on, swim trunks. I ended up breaking my 3rd and 4th metacarpal, and it put me in a cast. So I was out of work for 6 weeks, and then I'm stuck with a cast. Can't even play Call of Duty. Shouts out to the Call of Duty shirt. We were at the midnight drop with 9 years ago today, actually on the date.
Oh shit, that's right. Look at the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw the thumbnail. Yes, it was awesome. It was ironic that we're doing this pod today, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you're gonna run into road bumps in life, but I mean, I think everything that you run into is kind of a lesson that you got to learn from, and you can take it. One thing my mom always told me, which is like, I mean, dude, this woman. I mean, my stepdad passed away in November. It was November 21st, 8:48 p.m. I closed his eyes. He fell off a roof, unfortunately. That's why I got into safety. I mean, it's something that I have a huge passion for. Yeah, and so if any of you guys construction workers are listening to this, make sure you tie off. But big thing was she beat cancer. I mean, she did all these things, and all these things that could have just like driven her down. Like, it just, things happen. I mean, people make mistakes, shit happens, but you have to grow from them. You can bury your head in the sand and say, well, poor me, but you get dealt one hand of cards in life. You can either choose to play them or you can fold. And you gotta play your cards.
I agree. I completely agree on that. I think one question I want to ask you now is, what do you say about the people around you who make mistakes that so you don't think of anything, you don't think of anyone, what's your judgment of that person once they make mistakes? Is it like,
I mean, depending on what it is, I mean, we could talk, I'm not going to make hypotheticals up. I mean, there's certain severities of things. There's certain morals that I don't believe in. Like, if you're a thief, I don't fuck with you. If you rob people, I don't fuck with you. Like, I don't like.
Well, let's talk about like substance abuse, because I feel like everyone, that's like advice.
Like, I mean, that's one of my. I mean, I'm currently. I've been through an outsourced rehab program. I've done 117 AA meetings now.
Shit.
I've done. Yeah. I mean, I still. I mean. You know what I mean? You can. Everything's about balance in life. I mean,
dude, yes.
And a lot of people, I feel like in our generation, like, have these expectations put on them, and whether it's through their parents or through society, or like, I have to get that degree, I have to do this, like, and then they lean to substances. And like, I'm amazed by the amount of alcoholics I'm hearing about at this age.
Yes,
like this 25 to 18-year-old age.
I swear it's more normal than it is not. Like, I don't know.
I agree with you. I would say if we took a poll right now, if you asked a person how many times they drink a week, I bet we would get probably 70% would say they would drink over 4 times a week.
I don't doubt that, especially during COVID times. And even not, I feel like that was a lot of people I knew, and like including me. Like yeah, so
yeah, I mean it's a natural thing. You're sitting back at home with the family. Like I mean, I know right now my stepsister, my dad, and Lisa are out sitting outside having glasses of wine, and he's sipping on his Myers and Coke, and they're having their smokes and out there talking and bullshit. Like it's a normal thing. And what is it? It's a month or Sunday, yeah. So it's like, well, it's a weekend, so that's at least a good excuse. But
true.
I mean, people are drinking like it's, and I don't think it's necessarily because they want the buzz. Even it's just like to something to take the fucking edge off.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean, these are definitely like they're testing times. I mean, we're seeing people going through like the worst mental illness that we've ever seen in United States history.
Yep.
I believe the statistics I saw the other day on the average suicide rate, I think is 700,000 Americans per year. And I think
real?
It's up to,
holy shit.
Yeah. I could be. Again, I don't want to. I'm not. We don't have Jamie from Joe Rogan pulling up these facts right now. I could pop it up on Googs real quick, but
yeah, pull it up. Pull it up.
Sorry, it's like slow.
You're good.
America per year. Let's see what this number's at. Okay, yeah, that was definitely exaggerated. Yeah, so I want to make sure the numbers are right. But I know, like from, again, it was one of my buddies posted it, but I know the rate's up almost 100%, or it would be 200%.
Yeah, I know that the rates is just increased it's crazy.
It's extremely high, and the overdose rate as well. I mean, I know people. I've had several friends OD actually, like throughout.
Oh, wow.
I actually know more people who have died from overdoses than COVID itself.
Actually, now that you say that, I think because I know 2 people who have overdosed during COVID, and I don't know of anyone who died during COVID or died of COVID.
Yeah, one guy I worked with died from COVID that I knew of. Personally.
Wow. Okay.
But that was it. Yeah, but then I have 2. One was a close friend, and the other was a guy I worked with for a couple of weeks out in Toledo on night shift. He was a good man. He's a pastor at a church.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and he's with his greater power now. But I mean, rest in peace, Howard. But I mean, dude, the overdoses and the mental illness that we're seeing out of this lockdown. I mean, you also got to look at this whole thing as a double-edged sword. Like, I mean, yeah, we have to quarantine and stay safe and avoid spreading this illness. But like, then again, at what detriment?
Yeah.
Like, how many people are going to take their own lives? How many people are going to overdose? How many people are going to relapse? How many people are stuck at home? In the divorce rate, look at it's gone through the roof.
Kids
Domestic
home with
violence
I was gonna say kids home with abusive parents. Yep.
Oh my God, it's terribly sad, and like and what are we gonna do? I mean, we got a nation that's literally attacking the police, who are like probably doing their best to like deal with like, which is utter chaos right now, is what I would say, is what we have as like a 50-50 split in our country right now, where people just can't. I mean, I think there is a large silent middle ground, like if you just listen to people talk, like me and you, like bullshitting right now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that agree like that just shit needs to change.
But yeah, like I said,
people need to have these discussions. Get the fuck off social media. Like I don't like name dropping, but like fucking Alec Meyer and Derek Potts, like 2 kids he went to high school with. And I'm gonna name drop because like these kids are writing me fucking books, and on like if I post a tweet or something on Facebook, and I literally post on there, I go, this is my opinion. Like they're writing me a fucking book. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I told you it's my opinion. Like you can write me the book. I don't read it. I told him, I go, if you want to get a cup of coffee with me or go get a beer, I will go sit down and have a conversation with you. I'll have an intellectual conversation with you. But if you want to sit there and fucking cite your links and do your shit, like, bro, I'm not your fucking professor. I don't need a research paper off of you. And they had the same fucking like peon fucking attitude, and I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I was getting to the point where I was like, dude, I just started blocking people. That was like my goal. I go, if people feel the need to respond to everything that I post out there, I'm just gonna be like, all right, Bink. I'm like, why waste my time? Why waste my stress? Like, I'm doing better things. Like, I'm doing something to better myself. So what? I post something out there. Like, it doesn't mean that I want to hear your fucking 95 theses. Like, get your fucking nails off my door, Martin Luther, you fuck.
Hey man, I have to agree to a certain extent. Like that's I don't like the division we see online. I don't think it's Trump's fault. I think like division
Well,
online is.
look what happened to social media. Sorry to cut you off right there, but take it back to like I remember making there was a funny video, and it might have gone back to even like Jimmy Dore cutting his eyebrow open like way back in the day.
Yo, we were there when Jimmy broke his eyebrow. Let it be known.
Yeah, shouts out Jimmy Dore. But yeah, whatchamacallit? I think I tried to get a video on Ray William Johnson or something when he was popular on YouTube. So I started a Twitter, I think back in 2011. And I remember it used to be like funny video or pictures and videos, and people would be telling jokes. And then all of a sudden, and like even Jack, like the founder of Twitter, said, he goes, "This was never my initial intentions for social media."
Wow.
It's turned into a platform where everyone not only like feels like their opinion is correct, but they're entitled to like fucking attack you with it.
Right.
And if you disagree with them, cancel culture. Boom, fucking you're out.
Yep.
You're a racist, or you're a whatchamacallit, or you're a hippie or whatever.
Xenophobic, sexist.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, I mean, I work with, dude, that's what I wish I could bring people on a construction site. I work with all races, all creeds, all colors. Like, dude, I have gay best friends. I have like literally like I have all sorts of like friends from all walks of life. I'm conservative, but I would say more libertarian and a constitutionalist. But I literally am a conservative. But I have like people who are white, black, Asian. I mean, that's the old thing. Like, oh, I have a black friend. Like, I'm not racist. But like,
right,
no,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
no. Like, I work with these people. I socialize with these people. I go and have drinks with these people. I know their families. I know them as human beings. And now that like over fucking politics, like, dude, I literally had one of my sister's friends say to me that if Trump got reelected, there would be a gay genocide. And I go, are you that fucking like, I go, that is called you buying into fucking propaganda.
That means go outside. That means take a break.
Yeah. Like, dude, like literally chill. Like, that is fucking so asinine.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I don't even give a fuck who gets elected anymore. Like let the courts do their thing. I'm so sick of this whole fucking bullshit. I just want like things to like slowly but surely go back to normal in a healthy manner. But like, there's so much shit that needs to be addressed, but we're all focused on the wrong things.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants their opinion to fucking outweigh the real issues that we're facing.
Yeah. So the reason why I don't like Twitter, I mean, amongst a lot of reasons, is
it's toxic as fuck.
Yeah, but it's I had this conversation with Tejas a little bit on our podcast, but there's a social currency where it's more valuable to appear virtuous than it is to actually go out and do shit that is meaningful. So if you want to go out and like call out like in a very low effort and super exhausting and very boring way of calling out people based off the tiniest peanut of information and calling them racist when, you know, it's like it's exhausting. So for like you to say
that's a great point. That's a great point to make.
All right, we back. Dude, that was funny as shit, dude. When you were like, I don't mean to name drop, but fuck Alec Meyer, Derek Potts. I was fucking cackling. Okay,
well,
sorry.
No, dude, and the thing is, and like I've told them multiple times. It's like I don't hate anybody, but I strongly dislike them because they're like Jacob Karcher, fucking literally like the number like one besides me rebuttal guy in the world. Like he he comments on my thing. I go, just because I post something doesn't mean I want to hear your opinion. Jacob comments, well, actually, and I go, and that's what those kids are. They're actually, they have something to say about fucking everything. Like, listen, there's a certain time where you need to shut the fuck up. Like, listen, use your fucking ears. And I'm guilty of it too. And I work every day to be better and learn from that. Like, when someone's saying something, shut the fuck up and let them finish what they're saying. If someone has a post and they even put in their post, this is my opinion, and then someone has to go, well, actually, I'm just like, motherfucker. I go, here we go again. And so I just stop entertaining it. I go, I'm not going to waste my breath. Like, and it literally has been one of the healthiest things I've ever done. And like, this is something I do want to say to people if they feel anxiety or stress or fear to post something on social media, post whatever the fuck you want. Like, as long as it's not incriminating or harmful to your career. But again, post whatever you want. But if people are like fucking feeling the need to comment on your shit or harass you over it, just fucking block them. There's a button there for a reason. Mute them, block them, turn the comments off. I mean, it's an outlet for people, but it can be used in a productive manner.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that sort of like pushed me to do this podcast and not really censor myself is that I spent a lot of my time bitching to my friends about cancel culture online and not being able to share your real opinion. But I said, like, I can't really bitch about that if I'm not doing my part in actually embracing my authenticity and having like my space online and saying those sort of things. So I'm glad that you actually
having the fucking balls to do it.
Yeah, that's
how many people have the fucking balls to just go on the internet and say, all right, listen, I'm gonna tell you how it is, and this is how I feel.
Yep.
You don't have to agree with it, but I'm gonna put it out there, and you can give it a listen. I mean, I'm doing a Browns podcast. We talk about sports, and sports is one of those things. I mean, it's such a simple, compressed subject, but people disagree on that shit all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's something. It's nice to be able to go out there and talk to people and interact. And I think that's been like the issue with being stuck at home with social isolation, is where cancel culture has just become so popular, because now it's like you have no vocal inflection. Like I was in a class the other day, and the teacher, I'm in a physics class, and I had Mr. Golden in physics, and the guy was a total fucking joke. And I'm sorry if you liked him as a teacher, but if you call yourself Mr. Toast and your whole premises of teaching physics is off of fucking toast, like, dude, I get you're trying to make class fun, but like a physics lesson where it's like, oh, Batman's holding up Robin by his underwear at Z fucking newtons, like, no, that's not how you fucking like in my opinion, that's not how you teach. I go that makes you a fucking class clown. Like, you want to be the cool teacher, and I don't find that cool. Like, I'm here to fucking learn. Like, sorry, like the kids that enjoyed that, like, but that's not for me. Like, but what was I talking about again?
Good
yeah,
feedback.
so going back to where I was going. So I'm in this physics class, and I have it was a Middle Eastern kid I was a TA teaching the class over Zoom. And I could tell he's writing these equations down, but I could tell he was writing with a mouse. And like, when like the numbers aren't looking right and shit, and it's all scribbly, and like, dude, you need to know exactly what the fuck like you're reading.
Yeah, physics is
It's an equation. Like it has to be spot on. Like one number off, you're fucked. One letter off, you're fucked. Like, so I commented on the thing. I go, did Kent State provide you with like a bamboo board or a stylus? And he goes, no, I do not have the proper tools. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. I go, because they had 2 Super Bowl ads from my like recollection. I go, at least they could give you guys the proper tools to teach us online, especially when we're paying full fucking price at full tuition. Like a total fucking scam, by the way, modern college education system. That's the one thing I do agree with Bernie Sanders on. But so then this girl, Janelle, whoever the fuck she is, comments. She goes, I don't like the tone. Can we get back to physics? I go, bitch, how do you know the tone of my voice when I commented something via text? That's what I want to know. People think, how do you know the inflection of what I'm saying? When I said, all I asked was, were you supplied with the proper tools to do the class? She goes, I don't like the tone of your voice. I don't think you're being constructive. I go, I'm trying to make it a better learning environment for all of us. I go, everyone's struggling. And I'm like, have 8 kids in a private chat that are like, just fucking go in on it, bro. And I'm like, no, I don't want to start shit on like a fucking group chat in Zoom in school. Like, it's like totally like the most inappropriate place to do it. But then I ended up having a sidebar with the teaching assistant, and they got him the equipment he needed, and we fixed the problem.
Hell yeah.
What? I could have sat back like the other 32 pussies and not said anything, and they would have all just sat there and just been passive about it. But sometimes you got to voice yourself. Man the fuck up. Speak the fuck up. You have a voice. If you're wrong, admit you're wrong. But guess what? A lot of the times, if you're passionate about something and you feel the need to say it, fucking speak up.
I do want to say something, and that's in the same vein as what you're saying right now, is that I think people vastly underestimate how little effort it takes to make a positive change or a change that they want to see. Like, it is super, super easy, and sometimes all it takes is for you to ask. And asking, the very worst thing that can happen out of asking in the majority of situations is no. No.
And people don't realize that. And some people can't handle being told no. And I literally think that, like, I don't know if they were like like Dr. Spock kids or something. Like it literally is like, it's so fucked up. I mean,
what
it's
is
like
Dr. Spock?
Dr. Spock instituted that whole not spanking your kids and shit and like putting them in time. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. So like I'm basically saying like the soft generation where like, yeah, like, oh, you spank your kid, like dude, being told no is not the end of the world. Being told no is probably one of the best things you can ever do, because you're gonna move past it and find a way around it and try to figure out your problem in a different aspect. Like it's gonna get, guess what? No just became a roadblock. And you're going to look at that roadblock and be like, all right, I'm either just going to stop or I'm going to find a way around it.
Yeah. You're in stasis up until that no. So it's like, would you rather be in stasis forever? Like, deal with that microscopic amount of uncomfortable that's like, okay, dude, now I have to find another path.
Being uncomfortable is the most important part of fucking life.
Yeah.
It's where you'll learn the most. Mm-hmm. Being in a situation where you're like, I'm not used to this. This doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. And then it'll teach you like sensory awareness. It'll teach you different clues and like ways to handle people. My one buddy Scuba used to call it social engineering, but it'll teach you ways of handling a situation properly. Like I have a funny story I'll tell real quick. I had a crazy MAGA lady at Heinen's, and it was like 7:30 at night, and there's one checkout line, and there's like 20 people in line, and she's the first person in line, and she's just screaming like this 5'4" like old lady. So this guy is just appeasing her and just letting her talk and talk and talk and talk. So finally I'm with my stepsister, and I'm like, lady, I go, we all agree with you. Like, I didn't. She was fucking whackers. I go, we all agree with you. I go, let's get the groceries and get the line moving. And then I get her going. I get her out the store, and then all the baggers and shit, they're thanking me. They're like, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, all right, cool. I get in the parking lot. Shit you not, this crazy gremlin's still out there preaching. She goes, what's Dora District? She sees the Dora District sign. She goes, and she's like standing by her minivan. I go, ma'am, can I take your cart for you? I took her cart, and I go and put it away. And she goes, Dora means that you can designate it outside refreshment area. And I go, yeah, that's a sign telling you that you can drink here, and past that sign you cannot. She goes, well, I don't even drink anymore. I go, well, ma'am, you really should start. And my stepsister about fucking lost it. But it was one of those situations where, dude, we were in Heinen's checkout line for literally over 30 minutes. And it was like one of those situations where I could have sat there and been quiet like the rest of the 20 people in line. But I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm just going to take care of the situation and handle it. Like,
I mean, you did what 20 people wanted you to do. Like, they wanted to do themselves.
Exactly, dude. They were fucking cheering and laughing like afterwards. And they're like, thank you. Like, but like, some people just got to, like, I mean, and I get it's not comfortable. Like, it's like, do I want to get up and I learned that from my experience in Toledo. Getting up in front of 200 people and giving a speech, that'll make you freaking pucker your asshole real quick. I mean, it's those things that you learn, and they develop you as a human being, and generally make you, I wouldn't say a better person, but a more well-rounded, and it's just another tool in your bag.
Yeah, and I think when people are labeled irredeemable and they're cast away and they're canceled, you're barring them from a chance to grow too. Because they're like that. If you cancel someone, they're gonna get super bitter and then like go into a hole and then like radicalize or whatever. That's an extreme case.
That's how you create like this toxicity that we have in the world.
Yes,
I truly believe in that. I'm watching the show 60 Days In. Have you heard of it? Where they send those people undercover in prison.
No.
And this one girl goes, her name is Brooke. I'm just gonna shout out her name because she's such a bitch. When I heard her say this, she goes, I'm going to do this program because I feel like people in jail are treated way too nicely. They get health care, they get free meals, they get 3 hots in a cot. I go, fuck that, dude. Look at every other country who has prison reform. Like, they literally like get people second chances. They get them out of jail and back into society, and they function. I think it's like Norway and like some of these what would that be? Northern European countries that do prison reform, and it literally is statistically proven to help people out. Rehabilitation is like a very serious thing. Yeah. And I went to I had a marijuana charge. I went to outpatient rehab in fucking east side of Toledo. If you know what the east side of Toledo is like, it ain't fucking good.
Okay.
It's bad. Everyone was in there. It was for heroin and meth.
Shit.
Like, dude, like, I mean, they're peeling their skin off, like, fucking, they're all taking buses. I was the only one that owned a car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was not a pretty building. It was not a pretty environment. But, like, dude, these people were actually getting better. Like, they were doing working programs. Like, they were, like getting their kids back. They were and I saw it firsthand, and, like, I always thought I'm like, oh, rehab's just like a cop out, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna go take a break, like a vacation. But like, it generally, I'm sure there's a lot of people that do relapse. Like, I've had friends that have relapsed and died even from it. I mean, we had our coworker. I don't know if you worked at Acme at the time when Krista passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, rehabilitation is like a very serious thing, and to throw these people in fucking cells. I mean, the Stanford prison study, it shows what it turns them into animals.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, so I mean, we need to look at, like, I mean, just in society as a whole, like, the number one issue I think facing like us is mental illness. I mean, why, like, dude, it's everyone's on an SSRI, everyone's on a fucking Xanax or a Klonopin or a Ativan or an antidepressant or a Prozac, or why the fuck do I even know all these names? I shouldn't know all these names. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's sad, and it's like, and they shouldn't be. Like, they should be like able to go like exercise, meditate. Like, that's why like Big Joe Rogan, I know like everyone think like, yeah, he's like super radical conservative guy, but like, no, very level-headed, like, and uses like supplements and exercise and different forms. Like I don't know, one of the greatest books I've ever read, like if you guys are readers, The Impossible First by Colin O'Brady, where he travels across the Arctic in 57 days by himself, completely alone, and like just like getting in that mind space and like learning about yourself, and like, or like even like deep meditation. Like, there's this thing he did where for 10 days, no cell phone, no outside communication, no talking. They weren't allowed to speak. He said he went so nuts, he was just running up and down the road, and like literally just running. But like, they literally, like, you learn about yourself and like how to deal with those problems without having to take a sip of alcohol, without having to pop a pill, without having to use something to cope with that. Like, and I think that's what we need to focus on, whether it's meditation or yoga or therapy or whatever it may be. Like, there's different outlets than substances.
Yes, dude, you have said so many things that I want to like start topics on. So this is great so far. But the one thing I want to say right now is that the thing about meditation, and I liken me overeating to, I mean, food is technically a substance, like it's substance abuse, overeating.
Incredible.
And so like, I do want to say I'm extreme, being your friend for as many years as I have. Yeah. I saw Matt Martz last night. I mean, him and you, I'm so fucking proud of you guys. And like, as a friend, like, to see the journey you guys have come through and that you guys did it. I don't know who you did it for, but I feel like you guys did it for yourselves. And like, I'm so fucking proud of you both. Like, literally, makes me like choke up, because like, you guys look so fucking good. And like, you guys probably feel better and feel better about yourselves. And like, it was probably like an awesome journey to fucking like see that change, like look in the mirror. And like, and that was like, I mean, I remember you guys were like, I mean, I was always like, oh yeah, you're fat friends. Like, that's like how you guys were addressed. Like, and I'm like, no, they're my friends, but yeah, they're fat. Like, I make observations. Yeah, I'm a skinny redhead too. Like, come on, like we can all make observations, but like, for you guys to go and do that for yourselves, like, that's such an awesome thing. And like, I never really got a chance to like tell you, like, I'm like, as a friend, I don't know what it means. I just do want to say that I'm really proud of you guys. And like, I'm really happy that you guys did that for yourselves. Dude, that means so much, because I think you validated exactly what the story you're talking about earlier, because I don't really view me getting to that weight as like a mistake, because I feel like as a kid, like in middle school and high school, like, you really have no idea what the fuck you're doing to yourself.
No, I mean, we used to go to my house and my dad would see you and Matt. Do you remember how much he would cook when you guys would come over?
Dude, he would give us like $100 to go get Zeppies. He'd be like, okay, we spent it all. Like,
oh yeah, dude. He'd be like, oh, hot dogs and hamburgers. He'd make like 14. He'd be like, oh, Matt, Christian, because my dad's a big dude. He's like, eat up, boys, because he's a construction worker. They like, you feed your boys. You don't care how big they are.
So we're playing Call of Duty for 8 hours, not doing construction for 8 hours.
Like we're literally like buying Mountain Dews and Doritos just to get the XP codes. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were like living like the most unhealthy lives. Like shouts out my metabolism for me not like fucking being morbidly obese. But yeah,
damn,
no,
dude.
man, like yeah, dude. No, it's an awesome journey to see people go through that recovery. And like, dude, I didn't recognize Matt when I saw him. I legit
just
someone
recently,
goes, hey,
I mean? He does look.
This was literally
insane.
last night. Someone goes, "Hey, your boy's over there," and I looked over, dude, and I literally almost cried. I'm like, I gave him the biggest hug because I hadn't seen him in 4 or 5 years.
Oh
and like,
shit!
Literally since like it was maybe freshman year of college.
Damn.
And dude, I literally just gave him the biggest hug, and like it was like fucking such a good feeling, and just to like. Dude, I literally could reach my arms all the way around him and like fucking like literally be like, dude, you motherfucker, you look fucking beautiful. Like, and I'm not saying that if you're big or you're like, you know, whatever, that you're not.
It's the transformation included, everything you know that happened.
Dude, dude. But the transformation, if some people want to be big, some people. I have a friend who's totally comfortable with his size. He's probably like 350, 6'2", totally comfortable with his size, doesn't want to change. And dude, if that's your thing, bro. But the biggest thing is do what makes you happy.
Yeah, if you're kidding yourself and you're really not happy at the end of the day, the best thing that you can do for yourself, like the best treat you can give yourself, is to fulfill that wish of yours. I mean, it's not easy.
Dude, I like that you say treat. That's a good word. Bert Kreischer uses that.
I was saying treat because that was like sort of topical with the fat, but dude, yeah, like that's
no, that's what he says. He goes, when I do something good, he goes, I go home and give myself a treat. Like he talks about himself in third person like a dog. He goes, the donut shot down the street. He goes, if I go for like a 6-mile run, like, yeah, I might have a little snack.
That's funny.
But yeah, you give yourself a treat, but you got to reward yourself too. You got to work hard, play hard. But again, life's about balance, dude. And that's one of my biggest things is like, because I'm like I'm one of those people where it's like 0 to 100. Like I either like you pick up a hobby or a topic or something and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go get it right away. Like and then momentum,
hella momentum.
Yeah, like dude, I started reading randomly like when I like went completely 100% sober, and dude, I read like fucking 14 books in like 1 month, and it was like the coolest fucking thing ever. And like I just felt
books are
like
sick. I will say that books are sick.
Yeah. Dude, they're fucking awesome. And shouts out Patrick Stepanek for writing 2 books. Like,
yeah, that's fucking insane.
23, 24 years old. Great fucking kid. Like, dude, that kid is, I mean, absolute fucking gem of a human being. Like, but yeah, no, go read. Go. I'm telling you, if you're stuck in your head or you can't sleep at night or do something, pick up a book. Like, I mean,
yeah. What's one book that you would recommend to someone just like off the top?
Dude, let me actually take a step over here to the bookshelf.
All right,
I got it right here. So The Impossible First, this one right here, The Impossible First. This one will inspire the fuck out of you. This is probably gonna be backwards because it's a podcast. This will make you want to run through a brick wall. It's by Colin O'Brady. He completed the 7 Summit Challenge faster than anyone in the world, which he climbed all 7 summits within like the fastest time frame. And then he crossed the Arctic in 57 days alone, pulling a 400-pound sled. Like, the dude's like a freak of nature. And then, I don't know, another really good one I read recently. I don't know if you guys have read this, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delilah Owens. Absolutely amazing book. If you're from the like if you go to school down south or like really like South Carolina, North Carolina, marshland, it's great imagery, great story. Very nature inspiring and awesome book to read. And if you're more of like the badass like Navy type, if you know who David Goggins is,
yes sir, that's a gem
David
of a
Goggins book changed my life,
dude. It's insane.
Dude, I have never read a book that made me literally like I started working out at 5:30 every morning, like just because of that book.
Yeah, that book lights like, the biggest fire under your ass.
Dude, you read one page and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go run through a brick wall.
Like, yeah, dude.
Like, dude, he went through Hell Week 3 times, and
that's
like
insane.
And literally, like, and then like is running ultra marathons, which if you don't know what that is, that's 100 miles, like, and some were 120 plus. And then he would run a marathon the next day or something, like just to prove he could do it. Like, and then he finds out he has a hole in his heart after all is said and done. Like, the dude is like. He's a freak of nature and an absolute masochist. He definitely endures pain and enjoys pain.
Dude, my favorite part about that book.
To do what he did, but like, dude, he is a freak of nature.
For sure. My favorite part about the book is when he talks about how at the end of all of that shit, for the most part, when he realized how tense his muscles were and he had to spend just as much hard work stretching every single day to like
yoga's the most important. Every single morning I
you
wake
do
up
yoga?
and stretch. I don't do. I was super into it for a while. I had an app. I had the yoga mat. I had the app. I did all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped stretching for a while, and I was getting up, and I was like, I felt in my calves and stuff, and in my back, and I just didn't feel good. And like I no matter, like I was taking my supplements like probiotics, and I take like multivitamins, all that bullshit that fucking doc says to take. And then but I just wasn't feeling good. But then you wake up and stretch your legs out. All you have to do is 10 minutes in the morning. Just stretch. Like, I mean, try to touch I can't touch my toes, but I can get close. I actually finally touched my toes, I think today, like with the tips of my fingers. But
Congrats.
Like I'm fine. Yeah, I'm slowly getting there. But like just doing different things, like making sure you're focusing on your breathing, like different things like that. But like, I mean, those little things in the morning, like another book, this is probably the one that I should have touched base on, is Make Your Bed by William H. McRaven. It is the I'm gonna see if I don't know if I have it sitting right here. I might. I don't think so. But it literally is so inspiring. I mean, it's a very short read. It's about 100 pages. But he just talks about how getting your first task done in the day. And like,
oh, I see.
Like, and that's like the title of the book, like Make Your Bed. So like every morning now when I get up, I make my bed. And I used to never make. I was a slob. Like I was a total like college frat boy. Like I wasn't in a frat, but like it looked. You could imagine what my room looked like. It was not pretty. So like, you know what I mean? Like leftover food, like fucking shit that's been sitting out. Like my fridge was full of fucking junk and old Chipotle and all that garbage. But like, so I just started waking up every day, and before I did anything, I made my bed. And then, so I got the first task done. I could have a shitty day, but I got one thing done.
Right.
And then go brush your teeth.
Yep.
Take a shower. Stretch. Do your yoga. Dude, and then next thing you know, it's 8:30 and you got so much done already. Everything else is a breeze.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
And like, it's literally getting in the flow of the motion. And like, and I get, everyone has those. I have those days where I pull the covers back over my head. Like, and everyone has those days, and sometimes you need them. Like, you need a personal day off. Like, don't beat yourself down into a hole to the point where you can't like come back from it. Like, there's freaks of nature like David Goggins who can like run marathons a day, which he does, and like, but like, there's also people that need to rest and need to have that like that rejuvenation period. Yes. But yeah, definitely. Like, I think those are some definitely good reads. How to Make Your Bed, I say, would be the most important, or Make Your Bed, I believe, by William H. McRaven, is definitely very inspiring. He was I believe an admiral in the Navy SEAL. But okay. Yeah, he was very, very good read. It's a short one. You could finish it in a day. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna overlap and say that yes, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is definitely one of the books that like either sparked like a totally new path for me or continued the flame.
Oh, especially in your journey too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you read it during your weight loss journey, but
I was like 220, so it was like the home stretch, so it helped for sure. Like it contributed.
Oh, dude, and his story kind of is like about like just powering through it. He goes, even though you may hit your goal, you go further, like push yourself. You go, you got to callous. Like I love the way he says, callous your brain.
Yeah, armor your mind.
Armor your mind. Because like everyone like you have all these guys in the gym and they're taking their supplements and shit and they got the calluses on their hand. But dude, this right here, it's the most important fucking thing in the world. If you don't have a healthy mind, you're not gonna have a healthy body. You're not gonna have a healthy soul. Like I mean, it literally feeds your whole entire being. Yes. And I think that is like his like ideology behind that of callousing your mind and making your mind tough and strong. And learning about yourself and what you can and can't handle is like probably one of the most important parts in life is developing. Like
going back to
we're young. I'm sure your audience is pretty young too. So like this is all stuff that like I mean it might get you off that medication. It might get you off the booze. It might get you off the dope. It might like whatever it may be. It's just like it's little things, but it doesn't have to be a cliff jump. It's baby.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to be massive. Yep.
No, it's an old Christmas carol, like one foot in front of the other. Like, you know what I mean? Just baby steps. But slowly but surely, like it all falls into place. Like it really does. And this is, dude. And I used to literally be like, I'm genuinely saying this. I was a total shithead. Like, I was like the most blunt.
You were.
Dude, like no, like I was a dick. Like I was like an actual genuine asshole. Like I can genuinely say that. Like, I mean, like I was empathetic. I did care about a lot of people.
That's true.
I took care of people as well.
Yeah.
But like I had no filter. Like I said it how it is. Like we had a private conversation before this, how I called you fucking gossip girl or whatever, in high school. Because you fucking, I was just like, oh, you little bitch, like you just love talking shit about fucking everyone. I'm like, and I was like, but I didn't hold back. I like, and dude, that's what I'm saying. If these people, if they heard our Xbox 360 conversations, like, oh, they'd be fucking.
That's the tip of the iceberg, dude. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But you saying that is like actually what made me value integrity and all those things. It's like, I'm not saying bullying works and people shouldn't bully each other, but I'm saying like that's one of those things that I actually took the time to think about, and I'm like, I don't like when Connor calls me gossip girl because it makes me feel like a piece of shit. It's like, why is he taking the time to say that? And then that's that.
Then you realize I'm like, oh shit, I'm talking about my friends behind their backs. Like,
actually, that's probably one of the reasons why I feel like I need to be so vulnerable nowadays, is because like I felt like, not that I need to make up for it, but it's like I understand that's it.
The repercussions of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the repercussions of like, I mean, I used to pick on my neighbors all the time. Like, but I mean, again, it worked to a certain degree. Like, I remember my one neighbor was chubby, and like we'd all be biking around the neighborhood, and I would make him carry his bike. And like he ended up losing a ton of weight, now he has a kid and like a super hot baby mama. So like,
dude, that particular neighbor.
Do I thank myself for that, or I mean, I don't know.
That particular neighbor is actually one of my original inspirations. So shout out to that dude.
He's a really, really, really good kid. Really good kid.
For sure.
Yeah, but no, I definitely picked on the kid definitely terribly, and like, and again, I'm not proud of that. I was definitely a fuckface. Like,
dude, you were at least
I'll own up to it. I'll own up to it. Like, I have no problem admitting it. But like, people, again, this is the whole point of cancel culture. If they heard the shit I said back then, bro, and like this was posted now, oh my god, they would Chris the Isle me. Like I would be like gone off the internet. Like, no, I wasn't a diddler, but like fucking I would get Chris the Island. Like I would be like off the, like they would be like, all right, your name's gone. Like,
I feel like, but like that's just like, dude, like I mean, I understand. I'm not trying to take that away from you, that's for sure. But like, that's why, like, the reason why I hate cancel culture so much is because it's taking that experience away from everybody. You can't grow, and it's like the people who are canceling aren't perfect either. Like no human is irredeemable,
and that's the irony in it. That's the irony in it all. Who's perfect? Have you met anyone that's perfect?
No, and I don't want to meet anyone who's perfect. Period.
If I meet someone that's perfect, dude, I literally, like, I don't know. I hope I just drop dead right there, because like then I might that's probably Jesus himself. It's just probably like the Messiah. They like, know every answer to everything. If anything, I think it would be David Attenborough, because he's just seen it all. But he's the narrator for like Planet Blue and like Planet Earth.
Okay.
But like, I just think the guy's like, the voice is just incredible. But
okay.
But no, I don't know, man. It's just people need to see like the beauty and imperfection. Like that's I think there's more beauty and imperfection than this like a Vanity Fair, and like, and I again, I don't want to go to the extent of like Victoria's Secret posting like fucking, I mean, like we're getting a little like overboard with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like, we're posting like 8-year-old drag queens and stuff like that. Like there's certain things where I will draw a line at, but like
there are a line.
There is a line in the sand, but yeah, like this cancel culture, man.
I need to find this quote about Beauty and Ugly.
Beauty and the Beast, dude. Disney.
Only Oscar Wilde, only ugly can be. Let me see.
We need a Jamie, bro.
He says the ugly can be beautiful, the pretty never. So it's like, even someone who has like perfect facial features is not someone who people think is like the hottest out. You know what I mean? Like those are the people who people like
Say that over again so I can give it a little ponder.
Okay, the ugly can be beautiful, the pretty never. So let's just say someone has like a kooky feature on their face.
I get the point. I like that quote. I do like that quote because you can obviously say, I mean, you can change. You could like, you know what I mean? There's beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like I don't think pretty never. Like I don't think that's necessarily true. There's definitely those pretty people out there that like, you know what I mean? Those TikTokers, like the wiggle dicks, as Dave Portnoy calls them. But like who like just literally think that they're just absolute perfection. But like, I don't know. Like I really do think like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, you see like, I mean, I like, even if you're walking around a big city, sometimes you'll see a guy like with like this like 10 out of 10 girl, and like the guy's like total like Bill Gates tech nerd, and you're like, but dude, he probably like the nicest fucking guy in the world. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, again,
and honestly, okay, here's an interesting conversation. I feel like after you date someone who you think is like really attractive or like really pretty or beautiful, whatever you want to call about it, like looks, honestly, I'm not saying they lose their value entirely, but that is totally demystified. Like that is,
dude,
looks...
this is my biggest flaw personally. Like my mom always tries to set me up. Like I can't go out to dinner with her without her like grabbing the waitress and be like, hey, my son's single. Like, and it's the most embarrassing thing in the entire world. Like imagine like it just ruins a dinner. Like, but like, and then like all these girls I see though, I always tell my mom, like, nah, she's way out of my league. Like she's way out of my league. But that's my biggest, I know that as like myself as a flaw. I need to be more confident in myself and like, just like kind of believe in my personality. Like, and like, I mean, I'm no fucking Taylor Lautner, but like, I'm like fucking, I don't think I'm fucking.
Damn. I haven't heard the name in a minute.
Yeah, I know. I was like, like Zac Efron, or you know what I mean, though. Like, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like gonna be starring on the next fucking like Bachelor, but like, I mean, you also have to be confident. I mean, go up. I mean,
dude, confidence
again,
is 100%.
We talked about this earlier. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You say no.
Yep.
Like I was at a gas station the other night. I asked for a girl's number, and she goes, "My girlfriend wouldn't like that." And so I'm like, okay, but dude, then like my buddy behind me was like, dude, at least you like shot your shot. Like, and all I did, I was like, I asked her number. I'm like, hey, you want to grab dinner? And like, that was simple as that. But he goes, dude, not many people would do that. But I'm like, it was just like, I was like, I thought she was pretty. I'm like, she seemed kind of cool. I was like, yeah, like
the outcome didn't matter. It's only the fact that you took the action is all that matters.
Dude, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes, Wayne Gretzky,
Michael Scott.
Yep.
100%. So, yeah, confidence is key.
Confidence is everything, and I feel like here's one thing that like a few people have asked me. I feel like people aren't like necessarily afraid, but I think maybe it's sort of like a boundary that they feel like they're crossing. But dating, honestly, I feel like, so back in like middle school, this is actually crazy personal. Back in like middle school, I felt like I wasn't really unconfident. Like I wasn't really uncomfortable in my own skin, but basically when high school came around, I felt like being overweight was like a huge detriment to like my, I guess like my romantic value. But in middle school, like this is also middle school, but like I had no issue getting girls to like crush on me and like and ask me out and stuff. But in high school, I would like pedal back and I would be like, I'm not even gonna try to have a conversation where I feel like I'm gonna be open out and everything. But like as my confidence grew back in college when I was losing weight, I had no issue whatsoever, but I don't even put it on me losing weight. I feel like all of my confidence came back to the point where I was having conversations where I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I wasn't trying to get validation.
You weren't, like forcing it or like,
exactly.
Like
and dude, girls, fake. Dude, everyone, but especially
true,
girls.
Being true to yourself. Like, yes. I forget, someone told me this the other day. They go like they said, I'm trying to think of who it was. I think it might have been on a Rogan podcast even. They go, girls literally like, it was Bert Kreischer. Cause like the guy's just nuts. Like he just like walks out of a hot tub naked when like he has guests over. He just like doesn't give a fuck. But like he literally like, but he just like, he goes, women, he goes, they just like to tell you how it is. Like, there's like, don't even beat around the bush. He goes, just be your true honest self around them. Like, yep. Like if you're fake, like then they're gonna spot that shit out.
They pick up on it so easy,
dude, and they will call your ass out on it, and then immediately you just fucking. I mean, some will give you the second chance, but if they spot you as a fake, bro, you're fucking out.
Dude,
you're
I'm
out.
no gossip girl, but chicks tell me all of the time. Sorry, women tell me all of the time about dudes who we know, about like the shit that they say and how like they see right through them and stuff. They don't say it to their face, and I'm like, thank you for telling me this, because I don't even give a shit about the dude you just told me about. I'm like, I will never make that mistake ever now that you fucking told me that.
Like thanks for like the tidbit of info. Like yeah.
No, it's So anyway, but you can like even when you're dealing with like a coworker, like let's say like some dude on the construction site, you don't want to have to deal with someone who's like super unconfident and is like asking you a question about if something is right each time. You want someone who's like sort of like, regardless of what like I think about whatever hobbies they have, I want to see how passionate about them. Like if they're passionate about My Little Pony, but they're like the dopest brony of all time, like that's cool to me. I'm like, damn, dude, like you're a pretty big brony.
Yes. Dude,
so yeah,
dude,
I don't want some dude who's like, so
yeah. This is like, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, but when you mentioned passionate, like that's one of my things that like. So I had a kid message me for a job the other day, and I get asked all the time because they're like, "Oh, dude, obviously, like I am a little fucking gaudy. I do like posting my nice shit, but I work for it. I work hard for my shit. I like having nice shit, like fucking like." One got fresh ink the other day, got my Gucci hat, like, you know, I got fun shit, like whatever. It's dumb shit, but this doesn't this shit don't make you fucking happy. It's just shit you buy.
Yeah.
But fucking this kid messages me and he asks me for a job. I go, yeah, what can you do? And then he goes, I'm a hard worker. I'm like, well, I know lots of hard workers. I go, like, but like what's your passion? Like, what do you want to do? And he goes, I want to make money. And I immediately go, nope. I just said nope.
Yep.
I go. If you're, I don't want someone to come work for me, and if you're looking for the paycheck, then literally like fuck off. Yep. I want you to literally come to me, hand me your resume, and tell me like first off, like have a synopsis of like what we fucking do to begin with. He didn't even care what we did. He just wanted a job. I could have told him like, all right, you're scraping shit off of fucking bathroom floors, and he'd be like, well, do I get paid $35 an hour? Like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, no, yeah, I'll pay you 10. And like, and then, but like, you know what I mean? But it's like the kids, they get blinded by this fucking paycheck, and like that means shit. Have passion for what you do, and the money will follow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna talk like actual specific numbers, but like, I mean, my pay doubled in a matter of 9 months because of the fact that I was so passionate, and I took like a leadership role when I was just a peon. I was just another fucking, you know what I mean? I was just another ant in the fucking hill. But I decided I was going to step up and like solve problems and stand up to people and like not be a 23-year-old little quiet. I'm not using bitch as a derogatory term, but like be a bitch and fucking sit there with my mouth shut. Like I had my one boss come up to me. He wasn't listening to me. I told him to move some shit because it was in the way of the crane that we were building. And he goes, no. And then I go, all right, fuck you. And so I wrote it down. I wrote down the exact day he told me no, and I wrote it down. So then he comes and asks me to do something for him. I go, no. And he goes, you can't tell me no. And I go, I just did, bitch. Like literally word for word. And then so I get a phone call from my higher up, and then he goes, did you just do that? And I go, yep. And I explain my exact reason why. And he goes, do they have to get moved? I go, yeah. Guess what got moved? Those fucking Connex boxes. I go, I got this shit done that I needed to get done because I was gonna put up with this shit.
Yeah.
I go, but dude, you gotta have a backbone. Like having a backbone and being confident in yourself. And then again, that goes hand in hand because you also have to. If I was wrong and I fucked up, then I also have had to eat the consequences.
Yep.
Like if you have to take risk, but you also have to reap the reward sometimes. But like risk and reward is one of those. It's the hardest things to judge when you get older, especially getting your feet wet in your career, especially. Like you got to know. I mean, there's certain people like. I mean, I see like people who are just like going after it. Like Jake Crone, like he seems like he's just going after it with the HR thing, like posting shit, like yo, let me get you this job. Like he just like going after. Like I like seeing. Yeah, I like people seeing like they're grinding, man. They wanted him like dude, you have no sense that they give a fuck about the money. Like that you just see the passion behind it. Like Patrick Sapanic traveling the world, like doing his. But like then you talk to him about the business aspect of it, and like he's writing a book. He's got running like these accounts, doing photography and all this stuff. But dude, never once do we talk about money.
Right.
We just tell stories about. We always talk and tell stories about we love what we do. And like that's the biggest thing. Love what you do. And like part of that is like loving yourself. Love what you do, love yourself. And I think those are two of the biggest keys that you will find. And like I'm working on that for myself every day. And then slowly but surely, like I think you'll get to a point where you're not necessarily 100% happy. Like I don't think anyone will ever get there, but you can get content. You can get to a place where you're comfortable. And I think comfortability is like an awesome thing. Like,
I think one thing that I want to talk about is your self-worth comment is that going back to what you said about meditating and how you said like that dude who went crazy when he was meditating because like he had to sit with himself, and you can't, sip something or eat something or take something. And I think that's why meditation is so important. And I think that's why meditation was so important for me personally, is because if you do something like meditation for 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day and you sit with those feelings when you're doing nothing, and then you're like, well, I kind of want to eat because it's going to like take my mind off. I don't want to smoke because it's going to take the edge off. I want to drink. I want to do something just to like get out of reality a tiny bit. But instead you have to sit with that feeling, and all you do is look at it. And then if you do that daily, it gets easier and easier, but it's never easy, period. But no, it's the efforts you put forward.
And that goes back to the point I made before. Life's not meant to be easy.
Right.
Dude,
do you want it to be easy? Like that's boring. No. Yeah.
Dude, if life was easy, like what the fuck is the purpose of waking up in the morning?
Yeah. Like actually there's no challenge. Like you want to challenge yourself, and
you want to go do something. Like, dude, like there's fucking leaves in the yard. Go fucking get a leaf blower. Like, dude, I mean there's simple things. Like, I mean, like just go, like it doesn't matter what it is. It's just like, I mean, accomplishing a task is the most rewarding feeling mentally. Like literally, like fucking folding your clothes and like putting them away, making your bed. Like literally simple little tasks. They could be mundane. And and literally this goes for some people that I know. Like they literally will leave their fucking, I mean, I will go to their house 1 month, come back 3 months later, it's like nothing fucking changed. I mean, like it's a mess everywhere. It's fucking whatever. And like, dude, I got bored the other day and fucking redid like my whole fucking like closet ceiling.
Yeah, I saw it.
Redid my closet. I repainted my whole fucking garage. Like, I mean, I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna make it look better. Like, and I literally just like did it for the sake of doing it. Like, and then it felt so like, I mean, I didn't eat for 12 hours. I just want to power through it. And like, but dude, and like just to see like the expression of like happiness and gratitude that like my parents felt, but like I didn't even give a fuck about what they felt. Like it was for me, dude. Like I love doing that. Like, and I'm one of those people, I like working with my hands. Some people like to write. Some people are journalists. Some people like to sing. Like some people like doing the music. Like whatever your thing is, you just gotta find it. Whether it's it could be video games. It could be. I know a kid that just he literally backpacks. Has like no journey, just backpacks. Just goes and finds a park and just walks by himself, no goal, but he likes it. Yeah, dude, and you just got to find your thing, and that's and it's hard to do. A lot of people like that. You can try 100 different things, and you may not like any of them. Yeah, but then all of a sudden you'll stumble upon something. Yep. And you can stumble upon the wrong things, like very easily. Like, and I'm very guilty of it many times. Yep. But I mean, it really is about like
trial and error.
Yeah, definitely. And trials and tribulations,
Yeah, you have to stick your neck out though, and it's just like asking. It's like
take risk. Take risk. Calculate your risk though too. Don't be totally fucking naive. Like, don't be like a degenerate gambler. Like, oh, this month's rent, or I'm gonna throw 400 on the Patriots. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you got to be smart, like be calculated, and have some sort of like sense of judgment. But like then again, like without risk, like you're gonna get very little to no reward. I mean, you're gonna have this mundane lifestyle where, I mean, if that's what makes you happy, by all means, dude. I know some people, like literally, I'm not going to mention names, but I know a kid that, dude, I think he would be comfortable, like, literally just, like, Step Brothers 2, living in his fucking basement for the rest of his life. And, like, CK, you could probably put this 2 and 2 together. Like, I mean, no ambition at all. I literally, like, took him out to multiple stores and got him applications. And the dude literally said he would hire him on the spot. And he goes, yeah, I don't really want to. Like, like, and this isn't like at a GameStop, and this kid like loves games, like, and like it like literally would have been like his dream job, gets the discount and everything, and then like G's just like, yeah, nah, not really, not for me. And I'm like, so dude, like if you're fine with living in your parents' basement, like that's cool, like, but I'm that's not for me. And
My only question
I don't think that's
that,
healthy. I don't think
yeah,
that's healthy.
Even if it's not healthy, I feel like what truly matters is that if he's genuinely happy with that, or is he super complicit and he's like not
motivated.
Yeah, because you can be buried pretty hard to the point where you like believe
Dude,
at a surface level that you are happy, but you're not.
And I think a lot of people suppress themselves to the point where like they won't challenge themselves even when they know they can do it.
Yes.
They know they can like they have like literally simple like ample opportunities just to go and do like a little bit better like here or there, and then they just choose to avoid it, whether it's they're scared of conflict or scared of defeat or rejection, or I mean fear is what drives a lot of us too. I mean, like the fear of like not succeed. How many? That's why I think like this generation, like the millennials, and what's the generation below us? The Gen
Z.
The Gen Zs. Yeah, they're
right?
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the millennials and the Gen Zs, I think that's why there's so much anxiety and depression and shit. It's because like this fear of like not like being like this fucking perfect, like well-rounded, like, you know what I mean, perfect social group, perfect life, perfectly impressive parents, perfect girlfriend, perfect, like whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And
social
like,
media doesn't help, but yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
No, I said social media doesn't help at all. Like social media promotes that
social
bullshit.
media is toxic as fuck. I literally, I this is what, like, I'm making a promise to myself, and I'll actually make an oath on this podcast. I'm going to fucking Walmart and getting a fucking track phone. And I told my parents this. I'm getting an old flip phone. I'm just gonna give like my T-Mobile top 5, like my emergency contacts, family members and shit. And I'm gonna try to shut this thing off, because dude, I'm looking at my social time. I'm on this thing 4 or 5 hours a day. I go, that's disgusting.
Yep.
I got work, I got business and shit I got to do on it. Like I'm trading crypto, doing whatever the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. But like it also comes to the point where I'm just reading bullshit. I'm watching memes. I'm watching the same video of a guy fucking cutting a fish 20 different ways, like on Instagram Reels. Like, I mean, it's just a waste of your time. It really is. Like you can be doing so much better for yourself and the people around you as well. And even if you are alone, that's a perfect opportunity to better yourself. Right. Like fucking like if you're like quarantined alone by yourself, fucking go order a book on Amazon, or start stretching. You can look up your yoga classes on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Go on Khan Academy and teach it something you want to learn. Learn astrophysics. Listen to fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson, or I can give you like incredible people to listen to. Like, I mean, there's so many inspiring people in this world that like, I mean, like literally, like if you listen to David Goggins or Colin O'Brady, I mean, those podcasts are absolutely incredible. They're so fucking inspiring. And then like there's so many people in this world that like just literally like they face every obstacle that's put in front of them, because they're like, yeah, I can do that. Mm-hmm. And I love that attitude. Like I absolutely, and I'm jealous of it, and I want to have that. Like I'm aspiring to get there one day. But again, baby steps.
Baby steps. Yeah. It's not something you can just adapt that mindset. And if you do, you're going to burn out quick as shit.
Oh, dude, and that's a huge thing they talk about. Yeah, you got it. It is about balance. Like, because you could just like literally wake up one day and you're like, all right, I'm gonna hit the gym every day for fucking 6 hours. Right. And then next thing you know, like you're vitamin deficient, your muscles are failing, you got hairline fractures. I mean, I've seen people literally ruin themselves like off of just like running and doing like different things like shin splints or whatever it may be. Like, I mean, it's all about balance and like kind of, you know, finding your own vibe. Yeah. I know we're kind of beating the dead horse on this shit now, but
I understand.
But it's an important thing. It really is, you know.
The one thing that I do want to say is that the one thing that social media totally jades us is that the only thing that really matters is what you do behind closed doors, like when no one's watching. That's really
integrity. Integrity is the biggest word, I think. And I would say like my companies are like in our mission. We give out an award every year. Like the 3 words that are on it are integrity, respect, and service.
Mm-hmm.
You respect those you work with and around you. Your integrity to do the right thing no matter what, and like the service and like the work you put back into the community and back into the world.
Yeah.
And those are all great attributing factors to not only being good for yourself but good to others. Like,
Yeah.
and it's rewarding. It really is rewarding. Like,
Yes.
dude, simple things. Like, I mean, like fucking old lady pushing her cart back to the thing, or opening the door for someone. Even like simple things. Like, dude, I was at Kohl's today and I wiped down my own cart and put it back where the thing was. Dude, this girl like almost came up and gave me a hug, because that was her job. She was just wiping down carts. But I'm like, it was one of those things like, but these little things that people don't realize, like just being courteous, being like a genuine person, like.
Yep.
And this is coming from someone who was a huge asshole. Like, I was not the best person, but I learned and I changed, and I'm still learning and I'm still changing. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect.
Right.
That's not the point that we're trying to get across here. And like, it's like preaching. It's like the was that saying that pot calling the kettle black or something like, you know what I mean? And then there's lots of instances of that, and like there still is. But like, then again, the fact that we realize these things and we're working to change and like better ourselves is the biggest part of it all. And like, so moving forward, I think that we just keep doing what we're doing, and 5 years from now, you know, we'll see.
The one thing I do want to say about your Toledo thing, and the one thing that I want to say about this Will Smith video, is that he talks about laying a brick as perfectly as you can, just one brick every single day. And it's like your Toledo skyscraper shit. It's like, you can't build that shit in a day, but like how rewarding it is at the end to realize those steps you took every single day, and then you have that achievement at the very end. And it's not a rush. Yeah, it's not rushed, and it's not gonna like, it's not doomed to fail. It's like you took your time to make sure that everything was airtight. Each step was airtight and like by the book.
Exactly. That's it. And that's a very, very great analogy. And like, especially with construction and in particular, and like in life as well, you want to make sure whether it costs money, whether number one thing is your own well-being, your health and safety. That's the number one most important thing. You got to make sure you're safe, your family's safe, you're healthy. I mean, that's like the biggest blessing you can have, and making sure you're taking care of yourself. I mean, like getting stuck in like these lifestyles, it's an easy thing to do to stop at the bar every night. Like, I mean, there's things you got to avoid, but like what Will Smith said, making sure it's airtight. Like I got to do listen to a Zoom call for one of the lead guys of Turner Construction, and they're talking about the building they did at Case Western. And I was talking about the importance of it, and he goes, it was originally X amount of money, but it ended up being 10 times worth the cost, because we want to make it perfect, because we want to make it, number one was safety. We want to have 100% safety record. Everyone was safe, but we wanted to make sure it was structurally sound. But we took our time. There's a schedule for everything, but what's more important is quality, and like overall, like I think quality basically sums it up. Like, you want the best. I understand. The best you can possibly have.
And like, I think it's
you
interesting.
You don't want to half-ass anything.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you're talking about integrity as a construction worker, because stuff like construction is one of those things where if you are dishonest, it'll manifest itself instantly and so obviously, because like if you're dishonest in your work in construction, your shit will fail and people will get injured. So it's like you can't be dishonest.
And dude, and I've seen like my dad come home like from like holding a dead body, like having someone die on the job, like that's an experience that I'd never want to go through. Like, and I've fired people. At 23 years old, I've had to fire many people. And they disregarded their safety and the safety of their peers. But the thing is, like, and again, it's obvious. I mean, but that's you can look at that in regular life too. I just had a friend of mine, his buddy was in the National Guard. He was trying to beat a record time for a race or something, or for a qualification, and he pushed himself too hard to the point where he had heat stroke. 24 years old or 25 years old, went into a coma and died.
Yo. Damn.
And he's a good dude, National Guard. I mean, he's just, but again, pushing yourself, but there's also, again, balance. Yep. You got, I mean, make sure you're well nourished, make sure you're well hydrated. Like you could be doing the best thing in the world, but you got to take care of yourself first. And like, I mean, you can have goals and aspirations, but the number one thing is like, I mean, and I'm not saying to be selfish, because you do have to be selfless in life and make sure you're empathetic and do care about others and like have that sympathy and empathy for others. But like, you do gotta, I mean, it starts with like you, like your body, your mind, your soul, and like getting all those intact, and then becoming comfortable with that. And then that's when I really feel like then you can change other people and start helping
Yes.
other people. And like,
Yep.
then your message, then what you learned can pass on.
Yep. I think what you said is on point, and I think the only thing I want to add is that compassion to be, it's compassion the other day to understand that you made those mistakes and that you want to help these people like be more comfortable in like their times, because people are going to beat themselves up. So
Oh, dude, one of my favorite things, it was when I was in high school, and like I was, I'm again not going to incriminate myself, but I was doing what I was doing, and I had kids come up to me and they're like, how do I get out of this, or how do I do this, whatever. And like, dude, that was like, I felt like a role model at a young age, like when I was a fuck up. Like I was doing nothing right, but they would come to me and like genuinely they'd be like, what do I need to do to be better? And I didn't even know the answer,
Yeah.
but my response was, don't do what I'm doing. Like I would go fucking like go join in a sport, go join something, go like, you know what I mean? Get away from the party and get away from that shit. Like, you will always have the partying, and like there's a time and a place for that, but like, I mean, I'm so over it, man. That's not.
Right. But you had to
That
go
ain't
through
it.
it and exhaust yourself of it to learn why it was so important to like, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude, I was on the brink of death. I mean, like literally, like
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, scary fucking shit. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna get into details for the sake of incriminating myself, but yeah, there's been some scary points where like you got to be careful. I mean,
Yeah.
kids could literally like, I mean, you're at a party and you take the wrong pill or you take the wrong drink, and I mean, you don't wake up in the morning. I mean, like
Right.
and you hate to see it. So like, that's what the importance of like, again, what you're saying is like, of what we've been talking about is like learning about yourself, learning about your surroundings, like just making yourself overall, if you work on yourself, it'll translate into every aspect of your life,
100%. Yes.
socially, physically, mentally, emotionally, with your family, with your friends. Like it truly will. It truly will.
Yep.
And I can't beat that dead horse like more than enough.
I was gonna say, if
It's
anything
so
we
true.
said, I can't agree more with that, because
Yeah.
it's
And
yeah.
I know we've probably like beaten it to the ground by now, but
Yeah, but
all
dude,
right,
like I think
TK, I mean,
what?
you got anything else for me? Because I don't want to fucking keep. Like, I know we're talking some good shit here, but I don't want to fucking murder this subject. Because
No, no, you're good. I think actually right now is a good time to like end this episode, period. But I think we could easily do like hours long of like other episodes. But I think we're just so hard stuck on this subject that like we definitely did beat it to a horse. But dude, I think
yeah, I know, because we both actually did go through it at a similar time, which is ironic. And like it was
yeah,
a time
so
that I
yeah,
actually
simultaneously.
I had a, this is actually probably one of the first times I've talked to you in a couple years. Like, I don't think
Yeah, like a
we've.
serious conversation. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute. So it was really good conversation, and like I had a blast. And thanks for having me on. And
For
yeah,
sure.
I'd love to come back anytime, man.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, for all those who made it this far, thank you. Until next time. Peace.
Adios.